Hello, this is my next little solo project. I'm hoping to get rotating commentary on, but for now it's just me. Laguz Island. Interesting name for an island. What could possibly be on it? Alright. Thus beginning Mega Man Xtreme 2. We're going to be doing this in extreme mode for a few reasons. It's the best mode. So this game was released before, well, this game takes place in between X3 and X4. So this is where Zero first actually met Iris, which explains why she's here. Yes, don't worry, Zero's fine. So the main thing about Extreme Mode that differs between each character's mission is that you can toggle between them with the select button if you change it in the options menu. Normally you can either have it as a weapon change or X and Zero change, and for the purpose of this we're going to have X and Zero as the select button swap. So both of them have their own unique abilities. It's not like an X3, Zero actually does have a saber here, and uses it more often. In fact, he uses it more, period. Right, so the way this works, depending on who destroys that thing on the door, it will depend on what route you take. With Zero, you take the upper route, but with X, you would take the lower route. You would also lose the ability to tag, because they split up. Alright, stay alert. I will take that advice. And Zero's Z-Saber has a very short range in this game, like, quite short. So extreme caution against certain enemies, especially the ones that jump forward at you, must be exercised, or else that can happen. Zero also, unlike X, starts off with an air dash. Lucky him. Anyways, we're at the boss already. So our first boss here, he's not too difficult, honestly. He dropped those little spinners out so it's easier to reach his head, but you don't really need it. Not with Zero, at least. You can just do this. Pretty easy boss. Anyways, those items you collect, those bundled up health power-ups, they're very relevant, and you will see why in a minute. point where the DNA is, or yeah, the DNA, that's what those power-ups were, those bundled up things. The point where that gets mentioned will be very, very soon. Gareth, huh? Your database isn't quite that extensive, I doubt. I mean, it couldn't be that good, could it? Maybe their database isn't as good as you'd think. Us Reploids don't have quite as good a database as we should. Ooh, DNA to items. This is important. Why? Because we're going to be using those DNA pickups to create parts. And thus the game begins. So, in each individual mode, normally, not extreme mode, you would be fighting 4 out of 8 of these. Zeros are on the bottom, X's are on the top. Which means all the X power-ups are here, and all the Zero power-ups are here. However, X can also gain the weapons of things from Zero's area, and Zero can gain stuff from X's. However, for the purpose of this run, we are going to start with Tunnel Rhino. Why? Because Zero gets a very good weapon from him, and Zero needs that weapon to find power-ups, essentially. So, Tunnel Rhino stage is not easy for Zero. He focuses on melee combat, or up-close combat. So, the poor guy is pretty much outmatched by anything in this stage. Because, well, it's all drills and shit. However, X makes this stage a lot easier in a lot of regards. The drill enemies aren't very much of an issue because X can just shoot them at a distance. And the rocks, the same goes for them. Really, most of the threats in the stage for Zero are pretty much omitted by having X. Not to mention X's armor absorbs more damage as well, initially. Zero even takes more damage with his low range, making him very hard to use, but he's extremely powerful when upgraded enough. Anyways, the cracks in the floor lead to hidden crevices. The first one has a secret down there that we can't get right now. And our first heart tank of the game. However, we need to get up to it first. Easier said than done. So I'm gonna try and balance out the heart tanks between X and Zero. So now that Zero's got one, I'm gonna give one to X next time. So yeah, every time an enemy drops a large clustered health pickup, that's essentially a DNA soul that you can use to create parts for your characters. And Zero does get the grand air dash, unlike X. Poor fella. X is going to be a bit left out of the air dashing fun for now. This is also where the stage gimmick rears its head right near the end. As Tunnel Rhino apparently decided to build his factory in a lava volcano. Excuse me for tripping up on my own words. So you gotta avoid the lava at all costs. The good news is it's not an instant kill. The bad news is it still hurts like hell. So try and be out of the area in time as to take the minimal damage. And yes, those drill tanks are annoying even with X. If you kill them at the wrong time, you can end up having these really hard to dodge drill patterns. Oh my god. X is almost dead. So I'll have to exercise caution against the boss here. It's not like X has to really finish him off, though. Zero's the one who has to get the weapon for Zero. But that's besides the point. Let's get moving, shall we? Tunnel Rhino is a pretty simplistic boss. Except when you try to wall jump. Don't do that. That's a stupid idea. But having X go into the fight with 1 point of health is probably even worse. Anyways, now to be serious. Now, Tunnel Rhino isn't that difficult, honestly. He's got 2 attacks. One is to dash straight at you. You can jump over this pretty easily. No wall maneuvers needed. However, if you do get hit by it, it does hurt a lot. Which is why I'm going to be using the tag system. And Zero's air dash. And you can also do an invincible dash and kick up rocks, which is not nice either. The Tornado Fang, you have to dash under that, but it's a bit late for me to say that. He's kind of dead. Rest in peace, Tunnel Rhino. Every boss also drops a very large quantity of DNA souls that you can use. So anyways, with Zero we get the Drill Crush. With X we would have gotten the Tornado Fang, which is really good in this game. Considering it already shoots a 3-way spread, no button mashing needed, and they all do very good damage. Which is why it's really sad that I had to get that with Zero. So there's a few parts you can get right off the bat, after about 1 stage. X-Buster Plus and Saber Plus. So now that we've beaten Tunnel Rhino, let's move on to somebody a little more, should I say, a weapon for X. X is going to get this weapon, but there is an upgrade for Zero in this stage that we want as well. A very good one that'll help Zero a lot. As well as a heart tank for X as well. Now, to equip parts, you just go onto the part screen and select it. You can only equip a part for a character you currently have out. So I have to tag in X and put on his Buster part. I'll swap back to Zero for a bit. Give Zero some level screen time here. As you can see, the Saber Plus turned it blue. It also increases the damage of the Z-Saber, as you probably would have guessed. And this is only 1 iteration of the Saber Plus. Anyways, the Drill Crush is a very good downward thrust move. Does a lot more damage than a normal strike, so if you can use it, do so. The X-Buster Plus 1 gives X a purple Buster Shot. Interesting color choice. And there's X's first heart tank. So these bees are going to be really irritating on these elevators. However, they're not going to be too big of an issue. That's a pretty blind leap of faith unless you know where the helicopter thing is. So I would advise being careful for that jump. Just for safety's sake. Now on this elevator ride, you're going to run into a few bees. Indeed, the bees are pretty freaking nasty on this elevator. And again, X has a very big issue dealing with them. But there's no point in not giving the guy some screen time as well as me some practice. Charge shots aren't as useful. You might as well hit the boss with normal X-Busters because it does the same amount of damage. The only one that doesn't is the level 3 charge. A normal shot from an X-Buster does 2 damage without upgrades, so... And that's the same amount as a charge shot. Anyways, now it's Zero's turn. The key to this area is to destroy as little enemies as possible. Go to the very end. Even if that does mean you're going to take a lot of damage trying to avoid it, to avoid conflict, do so anyways. Come all the way to the end here, and use the Drill Crush. This is basically Zero's armor upgrade, and thank God, because this guy needed it. Now we can actually destroy the enemies here. Why couldn't we before? Because it would have done that. And moving on would have been impossible. Now it's time for a mini-boss. A very annoying one at that. When these things flash red, hit them. It's simple in concept, but it's irritating nonetheless. Particularly because of the damn bees that keep coming down. Either way, irritating, but simple and easy. Especially with the saber upgrade. Oh, that wasn't very nice, game. Anyways, now it's time to take on Blast Hornet himself. Gonna have Zero up first. So Blast Hornet is pretty downgraded from his original self. He only shoots out 2 bees that home in now. And he is a hell of a lot slower. However, the Z-Saber doesn't seem to want to work. Careful of the Hornet Sting. You don't want to get hit by that because... Go figure, it does damage. Anyways, you want X to deal the final blow here. Thus, this will earn us a new weapon with X. Oops. Anyways, yeah. This is our new X weapon. With X, you get the Bomb Bee. A very, very good weapon. Homes in on enemies, kind of slow, but the damage is more than worth it. And here we see Burkana, a female person, or female Reploid, speaking with Gareth. Burkana, I don't think you're thinking about this too well. Gareth is pretty level-headed about this. So they seem to be pretty aware. Alright, so that concludes all I'm gonna do in this video. Next time, with the Bomb Bee and Tote, we go to an interesting deluge of Vault Catfish. See you guys next time.